On the other side of the globe right now, there is a race against time to save one of the world's great wonders, the Dead Sea. Located between Israel and Jordan, this landmark is receding at a rapid rate. In fact, scientists say its surface area is now barely half of what it was 100 years ago.
In a remarkable fulfillment of a Bible prophecy, what was once dead is coming back to life. The Dead Sea, a salt lake bordered by Jordan to the east and Israel and Palestine to the west, has long lived up to its name. For centuries, no sea or plant life could survive in its waters due to the extreme saltiness. It's nearly 10 times saltier than the ocean. That is until recently, when scientists began to notice something changing. One of Ezekiel's well-known prophecies, often interpreted as symbolic, might actually be unfolding just as he described over 2,600 years ago. The Dead Sea, positioned between Israel and Jordan, holds a unique place in the Old Testament. Beyond its historical significance, this region has been at the heart of powerful prophecies. It's also where the famous Dead Sea Scrolls, some of the oldest copies of the Hebrew Bible, were discovered. Just north of the Dead Sea, along the Jordan River, is a site traditionally recognized as the place where Jesus was baptized. In Ezekiel's prophecy, he speaks of a time when the Dead Sea's salty, lifeless waters would become fresh and filled with life. In Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 9 to 10, he writes, "There shall be a very great multitude of fish, because these waters shall come thither, for they shall be healed, and everything shall live whither the river cometh." Ezekiel continues saying, "It shall come to pass that the fishers shall stand upon it from En-gedi even unto Eneglaim. They shall be a place to spread forth nets. Their fish shall be according to their kinds, as the fish of the great sea, exceeding many." Before we jump back in, take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any more fascinating insights like this. Now let's continue exploring Ezekiel's remarkable vision. The Dead Sea, sitting at an incredible 429 meters below sea level, is the lowest point on Earth's surface. True to its name, its waters are extremely salty, almost 10 times saltier than the ocean, which means nothing can survive in it, not fish, plants, or any other aquatic life. Even its shores are barren, covered in thick layers of salt. This unique sea stretches about 50 kilometers and borders Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. Known as a popular Mediterranean destination, people come from all over to float effortlessly in its dense waters. Its high mineral content has led to a belief in the sea's healing properties. Even King Herod the Great is said to have set up a kind of health spa along its shores. In the Bible, the Dead Sea is mentioned a few times, the first being in Genesis chapter 14, verse 3. All these joined forces in the Valley of Siddim, that is the Dead Sea Valley. But one of the most intriguing references is an end-time prophecy from Ezekiel, who foretold a day when this lifeless sea would come back to life, with its salty, lifeless waters miraculously healed. So what unusual things are happening at the Dead Sea today? Amazingly, small signs of life are beginning to appear along its edges. The Jordan River is one of the main sources of water for the Dead Sea. Though fish live in the Jordan River, they don't enter the Dead Sea because of its high salinity. However, the Jordan River's flow has significantly decreased over time due to farmers using it for irrigation, and combined with natural evaporation, the Dead Sea is shrinking by about a meter each year. As the shoreline recedes, something very strange is occurring. Large sinkholes have begun appearing, some of them filled with fresh water. Incredibly, a few of these sinkholes are even home to fish. In 2015, Samantha Siegel, an American Jew now living in Israel, made a video capturing fish in the freshwater sinkholes near the Dead Sea. At first, she didn't make the connection to Ezekiel's prophecy. In an interview with Breaking Israel News, Siegel explained, "Last year when I saw the fish in the pond, I remembered the prophecy, but I didn't realize the significance. I wasn't really blown away. I just thought, gee, that is pretty cool. The Dead Sea is coming back to life." A few months later, when I reread the prophecy, it clicked. Once you see it, the connection is so undeniable. It is right in front of your face. Breaking Israel News reports that there's even more to this story. Due to the Dead Sea's extreme salt and mineral levels, scuba gear doesn't work properly, so its depths had remained largely unexplored. In some places, the sea reaches an astonishing depth of 304 meters, 997 feet. In 2011, however, researchers from Negev's Ben Gurion University, using specially modified equipment, were able to dive down. They discovered massive craters, about 15 meters wide and 20 meters deep, at the bottom of the sea, filled with fresh water from springs beneath. Although these craters didn't contain fish, they were thriving with various microorganisms. While I'm not suggesting that these sinkholes fully fulfill Ezekiel's prophecy, they could certainly be a sign that something significant is happening in the region, perhaps even a sign of the times. In Zechariah chapter 14, verse 8, it's written, "On that day living water will flow out from Jerusalem, half to the Dead Sea, and the other half to the Mediterranean Sea. This will happen in both summer and winter." The Christian Post reached out to Susan Perlman, co-founder of Jews for Jesus, to hear her thoughts on whether recent signs around the Dead Sea could indicate end times prophecy fulfillment. She pointed to Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 9, which says, "Wherever the stream flows, there will be all kinds of animals and fish. The stream will make the water of the Dead Sea fresh, and wherever it flows, it will bring life." Perlman noted, "So far, the Dead Sea is still dead, though there may be some freshwater deposits." She concluded, "Therefore, we can't really say whether this fulfills prophecy. The future will tell." Recognizing the different views Christians hold about end times prophecies, the Christian Post also interviewed Dr. Floyd Elmore, a professor of biblical theology at Southern Evangelical Seminary. Dr. Elmore pointed out that the recent discovery of fresh water pools around the Dead Sea doesn't align precisely with prophecies in Ezekiel 47 and Zechariah 14. Both passages describe the fresh water flowing from Jerusalem and its temple, he explained, emphasizing that the current source of fresh water isn't originating from there. Dr. Elmore added that people might view the fresh water near the Dead Sea as a precursor or a first step toward the fulfillment of these prophecies. But those who hold a pre-millennial view would anticipate a future divine intervention. When Christ returns, we would expect that the fresh water and fish described in the prophecies would appear as a result of Christ reigning as king in Jerusalem. His presence and command will transform and heal certain difficult earth conditions, with these changes flowing out from Jerusalem and marking the blessings of the millennial age on earth, Dr. Elmore concluded. Thanks for making it this far. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think these signs could be pointing to something greater? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.